Obeajo egbatakale no de wadiasia.
Obeajo about to start our lectures. We are here in front of lecture. No cigars. No cigars. No, I did to give you a call. I can't afford you. What you want now? Oh, I think you want it. I'll be as I'm going to you, man. When you see that, I see it. Father says greetings, Papa. Yeah. Oh, I mean, what do that you have there? I will not do you for my What is that one happening? Sorry. I'm going to a few hours. Wait a few. Wait there. Because there are promise. I don't promise. We don't promise anyway. You borrow me a
You go the back. You go.
I'm not sure. Ole, bola dio.
That's good. This one doesn't put this thing down. That the Steve use like a yellow. John Manila. Stand. Okay. Oh, I go. Oh, you have to Vodu. You are fine. I go. I found my Jesus to respect the officer. Let me say, my video. You are calling me magic. You come magic. You will magic. You magic. You also magic. You magic. I blame you. I blame you. You don't understand the college. You come magic. You don't magic. The magic. Check it. You magic. You are kind. But you are kind. Whatever kind. You are kind. You are kind. Trouble. You are kind. You are kind. If you are kind, you are kind. You are kind. Very bad. You remember how you do that? Zambo, I am going to do your actor or job at John Macu. I forgot the wall of my children who don't be able to put what on the phone. But when you have a I am a model to go. I'm quite good. You know, the people that use a good woman of the very kind of a very happy moment. You ain't job at your pata. The trauma better or low. And if I'm really, but then I think you're low. Your pata, the home you have a small boy. You don't know many.
the children.
Serengania for a cat.
Your channel is listen.
When it's about time that they're about to kill, just put it on the wall and move it like aerial shots. Sometime when it's about to happen, you release this one. Then move it.
And I can't remember, as I never remember, I met maybe I do say, I never do. Made a man now look, I think you joke formula. Then Bokor, and you know, I want to take up. Hence, you hit Senang Yes, sir. It's not yet. Okay, so.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening to you, wherever you may be in the world. This is Revolution Vodu Education, our first transmission in the year 2022. I'm going to pray now, then after the prayer, we will start the section. Oh, ago mauga sobolisa mado ago mauga kitikata mado ago mauga ese joto amejoto ese nanu ameseti enu amewo na bebi dokuno bebi omo na bebi mebi enanu dokuno bebi ogbena dokuno bebi mebi enanu omo na bebi ogbe me yo senye popoli ko se datafia se joto amejoto se nanu ameseti enu ame oh nyatepe enwu buga ke mi gado efe yeye me mi le efe akpe blave vol akpe efe blave vol ve me 2022 mi la akpe dana mauga so bolisa mauga kitikata mauga ese mi ame togbe mama o pete mi la akpe da mi la hapurai mi yo ayingba majo flo afokla ayingba madu adika o nya ble me mate kote ga me yo akan gbeju be kan Moyo bakaya jifo bakaya musu bakaya trobo bakaya mani bakaya tufia bakaya mani ata bakaya akira bakaya peli pa member haja do lo akopla mo je fito ba so mi dojo ayo mi nuda ho ba o bo wa o kakwo po de zango ye plevira ke nya ho ha me yo jopata jomaku afoka me vole mo chi me vole fu do me gbe kukuru kwa tole fo mi jogbenyu ohebe jogbenyu me to aya mo ji o to anu kware pele be nyi le pe me beto ba jo tu zo pele bo mo no te pele ka jo pata be yele afi ejo fo ba jo nyi jo pata be fia jo pata atro me be da mo lo abi fa gbe le die jo pata na ifi mi ajo lo jo pata te me yo ma si me gbo ji do to to le nta pa pelu ti zu bolu ajima ogboju pele odo ja lo fe nko mi valentine va me lo va alo jo na pefu ago sapate me yo ati geli me yo guru bodi me ra keke la fia la tepe tagbe geje mega sese geje papa sese sese me yo brahini me yo bobochi me yo ngbe foli koko mo ra ke gomli godo kruche kuma ko manga tagbe ni ba ha we yo tonyo ko speku akubia yo no nya ko so ba ku foni ko geje tasi nya mo si fusi jam ko so abra ko bra mama nya bodo mba tagbe nya ko kofi akubia mensa dori epe ngbe peku no me yo yo fonye Celestine ya wakubia Katrina akubia fonya sese ko fonya ya Ben akubia ahana mi sese kuto mena fana mi gogo mi na gogo ne fana yeme yo mi asron awo mbo achicha chupia ko sila pene kata pe mensa yo mi akeke kuto mena fana mi me yo awudo tuji boko tuji tabu tuji me yo kinikini ase ko nche bara so bara boko me yo boko adafi so fa mi abobi boko afacha ojode yeme yo hunu le ba kwa hunu le gbe abega ni ba kwa kuto mene fana mi enya tepe me yo togbi anani tretule jita apo huno me yo rando ago me yo togbi Abraham jivonu toboko ago na lo kuto mene fana mi apete bobo de me na gbogbo mene fana me yo togbi efiato Simon Kavi benyasi agoti me kuto mene fana mi na gbogbo mene fana e wo buga ke epe bubu gado ehun academy epe chomiro ila peda de mi apete pete talo me yo abo ti sakara kama chapa be adogo okotokoli donko o kuruma ku ma gbonu be agbero toro le cho franta bani fin ko bi sinkra o ko fito jabaku o cho tu ko fito hen ko bi atra me yo kable me yo afana go no fagbo majeso ko se pepe to mo so le me dakpa vidi me yo poli be meji eku meji woli meji woli meji di meji loso meji ngoni meji abla meji agala meji buda meji sa meji kama meji trupe meji tula meji lete meji che meji fu meji wale che tula me yo club of me po atawado ko amatawade nyande o tawa ho bato ba bo do to ra ho nyantepe enwaga can we are in a new year and I'm thanking everybody and calling on the ancestors to be with us and bless us and I have a special announcement to make to our community. When I say our community, I'm talking about the African Magic Temple community, as well as people practicing African traditional spirituality and those who are practicing what they call African religion. We lost one of our great pillars called Baba Oloye. Our interaction with him had not that been long, but the few days that we got to know him, we realized how great he was and what a pillar he stood for in the community of African traditional spirituality as well as African traditional religion, those who chose to call it that way. Anyway, we pay our homage, and may the ancestors continue to come back quickly to continue where he has left off. Our condolences to his family, to his children, friends, and students as well. Thank you, everybody, and we hope that his journey will be a very smooth one. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'm sorry for the loss, for all of you who has lost such a great pillar. But then God knows why things happen the way they do. No one to stay here forever. When we are here and our work is done, we'll go back to give account to our ancestors how we have steered the ship in their absence. So each and every one of us, our times will come. But then for those of us who are still alive, let us do our best and bring knowledge, wisdom, and Africa back to our people for what we have lost. Thank you very much. And then I'm going to go straight away to Facebook, where we have Jenna Renee Henderson saying, I'm here to learn, Papa. Good afternoon to you all, AMT family. I would like today's lessons to talk more about spirit possession. I saw this many time in your end of year ceremonies. In the dance, drumming, singing, it was difficult to notice it. Yes, okay, Jenny. Yeah, okay, Jenna. Okay, thank you very much. We will talk about that spirit possession. In our tradition, African tradition, as I said earlier in some of my last year's endings talks, I said that our tradition is not based on faith. The African traditional spirituality is not based on faith or belief. Reason being that Africa doesn't have a religion. It is only in religion that people have to believe in a God or believe in a spirit, hoping and praying that that spirit blesses them or give them some comfort. But in African traditional spirituality, there is nothing like faith and there is nothing like belief. That belief system is actually coming from a Christian background or religious background, Christian, Islam, and whatever. Our tradition is based on formula and practicality. And when the formula is right, definitely the answer and the result will be right. So when you see people being possessed during a spiritual ceremony or a spiritual ritual, it is not that they are believing that they wanted to be possessed. What happens is that when the spirit's presence comes, it mounts people who it wants to use as its vehicle to communicate, to dance, and also to express itself. Then it is because we cannot see the spirits. and not many people can hear spirits. So what it does is that it has to jump on somebody, which in English language is said a mount a person. In our language we don't call it mounting, we just call it possession or jumping on you. So the spirit jumps on a person and then drives the person towards what it wanted to express. So that's what you saw in the dances that people did during the end of year ritual that we had just ending. We are not yet ended, but part of it was what you saw yesterday. And it is the same when you take initiation in Africa Magic Temple. We also invoke the energy to come upon you so that you can feel it. And when it comes upon you, it comes with a vibration. And that vibration is what you experience, and that gives you the confidence that you are no more alone, that there is an unseen force, an unseen energy that is behind you, in front of you, surrounding you. Wherever you go, you are never alone again. So it comes in different forms. Some people may sing, people may dance, people may be rolling on the ground, but then it shows that there is a change in altitude, if I should say so, that you are no more yourself. So that is what African traditional spirituality is all about. To feel, to experiment, to experience. If the formula is right, there is no way you can pray for a purpose and you will not get the answer. Even sometimes people are near death point. People are near death point. And sometimes even at the hospitals or in their houses, there are certain kind of formulas when you put the certain herbs together and certain other things together and you tie it on the person's wrist. The person's soul can never leave. Even if the soul is about to go, it has to come and settle back in the person's body. And when the soul is properly settled in the person's back in the person's body, what you tied on the person's wrist will cut off by itself. Those are based on formula. It is not a belief, and it is not how much prayer you do or how many days you have fasted or whether you are eating meat or you are drinking alcohol or smoking cigarette, and that you have to stop eating meat or you have to do fasting before those things can happen. It's a formula. And when you put them right, everything comes right. So possession, as you see, it is another energy that comes into the person's body just to use it within that time to express itself, either in the form of dancing, vibration, or even in the form of giving prophecy. We have so many prophecies who are buying old prophets who are in Africa calling themselves men of God. They bought old clothing from the old clothes line. We call it in Ghana Obruniwao. And then following day they call themselves prophets because they are wearing some dead white man's coat. They begin to call themselves prophets. And the only prophecy they can say in my country is when somebody is going to die. They cannot see any progress, nothing more than that. They can only tell who is going to die and who is not going to die. And in reality, the people don't die anyway. They just scare people and they want people to rush to them to make them collect money from them. And I'm very glad that today in our country, our Inspector General of Police or the police chief of Ghana have warned all these fake men who call themselves prophets and men of God that if any of them should put any prophecy down and that doesn't happen, they're going to arrest you because you want to bring fear and panic into the society or into our communities. So possession, as you saw in the videos, came because some energy had entered into the person and the energy is expressing itself. The energy chooses who to enter into the vehicle to use to express itself. So Jenna, that's what you saw in the videos that during part of our ritual. So thank you very much for that question. I'm very sorry I cannot be very vibrant and loud today because honestly I'm tired, and before the ritual too, I hadn't been feeling very great, but I believe and hope that if I do the right things, I'll get better. Thank you, Jenna. Okay, move this in. Let me see if there's anybody under. Oh, she's the only one.
No.
Okay, we have Shamba Musa Mohammed saying greetings, Papa. Hello, Shamba, and a happy new year to you. Happy New Year to everybody, to your whole family, and to everybody on the platform and everybody who is present here. Those who are not here too, happy New Year 2022. I was reading today, people were complaining that why should people celebrate a New Year which is based on the Gregorian calendar, and that this is from Greece or whatever. I don't know the base from which people are learning their African traditional spirituality. We, in African traditional spirituality, we are not against any other system or form of worshipping of God or associating with God. So when the Muslims are celebrating, we tell them Baraka the Salah to them, and we all greet each other Baraka the Salah, and especially to our Muslim friends. And when Christians are celebrating Christmas, we say Merry Christmas. When they are celebrating a New Year, we say Happy New Year. Because the world calendar moves, at least in the western part of the world, it is moved by the Gregorian calendar. The Chinese have their own New Year, but they still use the Gregorian calendar. The Ethiopians have their own New Year, but they still use the Gregorian calendar. The Muslims have their own calendar, yet still they still use the Gregorian calendar. So I don't see the point of people trying to say as if you are celebrating a New Year, and because it's based on Gregorian calendar, you are not being right. These people are just fake people. Because people who are doing the real African traditional spirituality do not care about this thing. Those are not the main thing. You can even go inside a church with your traditional knowledge and formula, do things in the church, and it will happen. You can go to the mosque with your traditional knowledge of traditional formula of spirituality. You can be in their mosque and do things, and it will happen. They being in the mosque or being in the church does not prevent. So because our system is not based on belief, so I don't know from which background people stand to write those things. We are not against anybody. We are only telling our people to come back to our way and learn the way of their ancestors. That doesn't mean we are fighting anybody, because the Jews have their own celebrations, Christians have their own celebration, Muslims have their own celebration. And even we are in the Chinese year, I think from end of January or February, we'll be getting into the Chinese year of the tiger, the year of the tiger. And supposing we in this part of the world are in China and they are celebrating
the Chinese New Year. You cannot say because you are practicing African traditional spirituality, so you don't celebrate Chinese New Year. It does. If you celebrate it, it doesn't take anything away from your spirituality. If you don't celebrate it too, it doesn't take anything away from your spirituality. But to stand and say, this is now our thing, we shouldn't be celebrating, we don't celebrate Christmas. Look, the reality is there for everybody that the Gregorian calendar is the one that is running the world. So stop deceiving yourself and fooling yourself that because you are doing African traditional spirituality, so you should do something. And then it shows that you don't like this. So please stop the hypocrisy and because you will not go to your working place on your own calendar. You go on the Gregorian calendar, and when they are giving holidays to everybody in the world based on the Gregorian calendar, will you say, oh, because you are not following the Gregorian calendar, you want to go back to work? Let us be very realistic in our approach towards divinity. Thank you, Jenna, and Taifa, Dara. I say grand blessing, Papa and family. Thank you, big sister. I'm very grateful to your support and everything, every time. I don't know how much I can thank you, but in my little way, I am saying thank you for everything, for your continuous support of my work, our work, and for the tradition of African spirituality. I'm very grateful, sincerely grateful. And then we have Pierre Richard Cherry or Chevy. Pierre Richard Cherry, I think it's from Haiti, or I'm not sure, but the flag there, I don't know whether it's Haitian flag or but maybe. Then big sister, father, I say my condolences to the loss of Baba, who just passed on. And then we have Martin Kobler for Martin. Happy New Year to you all at the center and to all on the platform. Well done, the technical team, and to your efforts in ushering in the new year. May your prayers be made manifest for all of us. Shirley, thank you very much, and Happy New Year to you, for Martin. I'm very grateful that you joined us, and for all the support. I have had a call from the post office that the medicines that you have sent to me have arrived, so that I should come and pick them. But because of the end of year rituals, I wasn't able to go to the general post office. But hopefully from the 4th of January, when the government offices are open, I will go in to pick it up. I'm very grateful for all your support and everybody's support. Okay, then we have Doris Amwa. Good evening, Toby. Happy New Year to you and your spiritual crew. Thank you very much, Doris. Happy New Year to you too. And then we have our sister Vivian Baka saying hello, Papa. Hello, Vivian. Yeah, how are you? And Happy New Year to you. Thank you very much for joining us again, and I'll be getting back to you later after the program. Thank you very much, Vivian. Then we have Prince Mahesh, peace and Prince Mahesh, peace and Happy New Year, Papa Christopher. Can you speak on how the Iyami spirits brought man to earth and how they influence? I don't know anything about that. I'm very sorry. I don't know how the Iyami spirits brought people to the earth. I always tell you people that I'm not doing religion here. What I teach at African Magic Temple is not religion. I am teaching spirituality. I don't know how the Iyami brought human beings or brought spirits.
spirits brought man to earth. I don't have any idea. I teach spirituality. I'm not teaching fantasy and illusions here. That's the difference between me and the people who teach spirit religion. I'm not teaching religion. I'm teaching the spirituality. That's why you will not hear me saying, let us worship this, let us worship this, and say this is the day of this spirit that must be worshipped. I don't teach those things. I'm very sorry. Please move it. Is that the last one? Yeah, then we have Daniel Asinyo. We are blessed here because we are learning from you, but I want to go to you to go deeply into divination. We want to know how many calories should be used. Okay, Mr. Daniel Asinyo, to be able to be a good diviner, you need to be initiated. And for your cowries to be able to talk to you properly, the cowries needed to be empowered, so that when they have to be empowered with the herbs that makes spirits respond. So if I go into divination here now, saying how many cowries must fall before it is yes, and this, but if you don't have the proper training and you don't even have proper calories, you'll be doing it, and if it is not working well for you, you will say that I taught you so. It is true that the calories can talk, and if you really want them to, you need to prepare them. There are ways of preparing the calories. But then, because there's so many scammers on the net, I don't want to teach certain things, because people will take your information, and before you know, they begin to call themselves Baba, they begin to call themselves Vodusi, they begin to call them witches, they begin to call themselves all kind of names without going through any training, and then using that name, and then they start to scam people. They are not qualified to be priests or priestesses, yet still, in order to scam people, they gave names to themselves. So that's why there are so many things I would wish to teach, but I think I am only teaching the people who I know and people who are taking initiation from us, because these things are very interesting, powerful, yet still they can be used to disturb and destroy other people's life. So if you want to learn about divination, get a teacher, get closer to someone, let them teach you. A lot of things taught on internet is giving chances to a lot of scammers. People who do not even undergo the slightest form of training as a spiritualist. They may be initiated into one or two vodus or all this, but they were not initiated to be priests or priestesses, but they think that the spirituality is just that game. You play like chess, or you play like a dummy, you play like a ludo, or a game like what you play like whatever they call it, dominoes. Spirituality is more deeper than that, and especially African traditional spirituality. So if you want to learn, I beg of you, try to get a teacher. Get yourself committed to it and learn. Don't be asking questions on internet and live listening, and you expect somebody is going to teach you, and then you become master of that. You can have some basic idea, and I think those basic ideas we had already taught them. They are online. You can go and read them. And then what is that? I don't know where you are. John Jimo Aderemi. Happy New Year to you, sir, to mommy and my beautiful brothers, to your entire team, to Baba Legba and the deities in your shrine. Timilei, thank you very much. I am very, very happy. May the gods of your fathers and your ancestors continue to help and guide you through this year and many, many years to come. Happy New Year to your household too. Thank you very much, Timilei. I like your name so much. I think the little I understand about the Yoruba, the name Timi means mine. Timi Lei, which if I can translate it, like literally means this is mine, which is a very beautiful name. I really I love that name. It's really beautiful. And then we have Osajifo Ni Yemo Thursday. He said, I'm late. Oh no, we are just starting. You are not late. I just finished praying. And I say it's watching live from Dubai. Oh, thank you very much, Osajifo. Thank you very much for joining us. And then on YouTube, we have our brother, Mario Young, saying good evening, Daddy, and the AMT family. Greetings from India. Wishing everyone good prosperity and good vibes. It will be good one for all. Yes, we pray so. I'm sure it's the gods and the ancestors who help us. Definitely, we are always praying to them, and if we follow their rules and do the right thing, I believe strongly we will, and they will help us. Thank you very much, Mario Young. My regards to the whole family in India, and tell them I say Happy New Year to all of them. Now we have a public relation. Papa, thank you for everything you are doing. Thank you to public relations for being part of the team and continue for your continuous support. Then we have public relations. I would like to know why would witches attack someone even after the person has fed them so they can leave him alone. Hardly if you feed witches or fed witches, hardly would they attack you again. And bear in mind that a witch is not someone who is hiding in some room or in some corner or in some bush and at night doing something specially just to attack you. Witches are the people you interact with every day at your working place, in your neighborhood, in the bus, in your schools, in your churches, those who go to church, and in your communities. People who you may interact with and they feel or felt that you should not progress. That negative mental energy that they direct towards you to make things comfortable for you due to their anger or whatever towards you, misunderstanding, is what is the witch. The individual may be a witch to one person, but it may not be a witch to another person. So, public relation, when you feed witches, most of the time they leave your affairs for you, they leave you alone. But if after feeding witches and they are still coming into your life, that means there is something that is still around you that has not been taken care of. But then when that one is identified and treated well, I tell you, you will have some peace. And also don't think that once you feed witches one time and that's the time it is forever. So long as you are a living entity or being and interacting with people here and there, sure, people will like you and people will hate you. It's natural. And it is this hatred towards you is what creates that's what creates you of the witchcraft. So don't be expecting that somebody is a witch that is hiding in a room or is some isolated being. No, they are the people you interact with every day. Those who have evil eyes towards you are what we call the witches. They may have an evil eye towards you, but maybe to another person they do not. So to such people, they are not. Anybody who doesn't like you and wish you your downfall is a witch in your life. Thank you, public relation. And then we have SB. Greetings, Bokor Christopher and the AMT family. Greetings to you, SB. And also, Happy New Year to all of you. Marina, in China for Bound Liberty. No, and then that's here. Okay, then in that Joseph. So we are done with YouTube. We are done with Facebook. Okay, we are back on Facebook and formatting. Kobla is saying, is there an equivalent of Lord Dunga? It's not Dunga, it's Druga. It's not Dunga. I don't know whether there's any Hindu deity called Dunga, but I know there's Druga. I don't know the equivalent of Druga in our Ewe this thing. If I know, I will teach you people.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead and ask question. And may I know who is asking the question?
It's Didi.
Hello, Didi. How are you?
Hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
I want to get back to, you were just talking about witches, and my question is that only referring to individuals, or can that also be applied to a collective? I'm thinking of white supremacy. I'm thinking of racism, and anyone who opposes this kind of discrimination. Would you call those witches as well? Are they to be labeled as witches?
If they are against your progress in life, they can be labeled witches, because the energy that they direct towards you so that you cannot progress and move forward is where is the witchcraft. And collectively, in the sense that there may be different people who may be against you as a group, as an individual, but they are all also individual, but all their attention is directed towards you in a negative form, so they can be a collective energy towards you. That's why we always say that a witch is not an individual. It's a group of people or whoever whose mind or negative mind is affecting your existence. That person is a witch.
And one more thing, it probably does not have to be intentionally. Their actions or their actions towards holding me down does not have to be intentionally. Is that right?
Definitely. Some are not even intentionally, but then it could be also made because of systems that have been placed in place, and that could make many people hate one particular person. They even don't know why they hate you. And their negative energy towards your progress is what the witchcraft is. So some may not be intentional. That's why the person who is even doing that, when they say you are a witch, a person wouldn't believe, how can I be a witch? I'm not a witch. But not knowing their negative thoughts towards you is what is creating that energy of witchcraft.
Okay. And one more question. So basically, it means whenever I have negative feelings towards another person, I could be
a witch
or become a witch as well.
Right. You are very right.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And also, when you list, you go back into the Bible. I think there is a verse in the Bible that don't go to bed on your anger, or don't let the sun set on your anger. I don't know how many of you were Christians or who are Christians, but so don't let the sun set on your anger. What does that mean? Because if you are angry towards someone and then you go to bed, having that anger in you against a person, you may have a dream whereby you are attacking the person in your dream. You are a witch. If they go to any traditional priest who knows how to read, they'll just say there's a witch against you. There's someone who is so negatively against you, and that person is a witch. Because in your dream, you attack someone, and in the dream, your psychic body or your psychic self is active against another person's psychic self. So you can be labeled as a witch. So I said that before, that you can be a witch, and you may also not be a witch. Depending on the way you are thinking towards people, you could easily be called a witch, or you are not. So when you are negatively thinking of people's progress and wanted them not to move forward in life, even if it is just a simple anger towards such people, and you kept it within yourself, you could easily be labeled a witch. Did I answer your question?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Didi. Anything on Facebook there? No. It's finished. Okay. So anybody in the clubhouse wants to ask any question, please go ahead. And Senna, if you have a question there to ask, you can go ahead, and maybe other people can learn from it.
Okay. Good afternoon, Papa, and good afternoon to everybody. Thank you for today as well. I wanted to ask a general question. Now that we are in the new year, 2nd January today, I know that we are doing our New Year readings. So I wanted to ask the importance of doing a New Year reading. What are some of the benefits or the reasons why we do so in the New Year?
Okay, thank you, Senna, for that question. Everybody needs to know what is in front of them. Things that are hidden from you by nature. Because in the past year, everything that had happened on you physically, those that you have experienced, you know already. And going into the new year, into which we are today, is the 2nd of January 2022, what are the things in front of you? What are the things in the year? Things to avoid, things to go for, what you should not really put in your mind, and things that you should concentrate on. If you know them, it makes them, it makes life easier for you in the year, because you know somebody's telling you. Let's take for instance, you do a reading, so there's a woman coming in your life, but be very careful. This woman may not be the best woman for you, or there is a man who is coming into your life, but this man may not be the best person for you, or this man is going to be the best man you will ever come across. So go for it or try to avoid it. That kind of advice by yourself you cannot know. And even if human beings tell you, sometimes you'll be doubting. But when it comes from the spirit world through reading, then you are sure that what you are doing, you know where you are going. Sometimes it may also tell you that, oh, this year, avoid being in the night, drinking alcohol, avoid smoking. So many other things can come in a reading, you don't know. So until you do a reading, you will not really know what is in the year for you. You know, I think in the Christian way that we were taught is like making a resolution. Every year people make resolutions. They write something long on paper down and tell you that, telling themselves that I will not do this again, I will not do that again. But it won't take 2 or 3 weeks before you see that they have started breaking the rules themselves. Because it is only to encourage themselves that, oh, I know this I'm doing, I will stop it. But when it comes from the spiritual plane, the spirits will tell you what you should avoid and what you should do. And once you know these things, life becomes easy. Excuse me. Life becomes easier for you. So it's like getting your mini road map in the year 2022, so that you can drive well, or like your Google map. But this one becomes your psychic map to know where to stop, where there is danger, where there will be gains for you. If there's a business that you are trying to chase, and they tell you that, oh, the person you are dealing with is going to be a very good person, so make sure you have patience and get closer to the person so that you can go through it. Or they tell you that, no, the person you are going to deal with, or the person you want to go into partnership with, that person cannot be trusted, so be careful. Or even the advice that you are going to do an investment, but the investment that you are going to do is going to come out very successfully for you, and you had never made money like that before, and this is the time. That same reading can come for another person, and they will say that the investment that you are trying to get into is not going to work. You are going to lose money, so be careful not to invest. These are the things that New Year readings tell you, and each and every one of the different things, because we are on.
Thank you, Papa, for that very explanation. So if there anybody who is interested in this or wants to know more about those questions, please feel free to ask Papa directly. Papa Ifadara, I think you want to say something.
Okay.
Last year to everybody, happy New Year.
Thank you.
May this year be the end or the beginning of the end of this fraudulent, criminal, anti-African system. May we be cleansed from within and without, and all the conspirators within our prospective groups of our people be also exposed and and brought to truth. Cheryl.
Thank you.
My question, since we're talking about the New Year's and the importance of doing the New Year's reading, since we are under a paradigm that is not indigenous to our people, we have to function within this system. So yes, I did my New Year's reading and all of that, but my question is, since we are practicing a nature-based system that is in alignment with the seasons and with spirits that are within nature, how true is this Gregorian-based New Year's calendar in relation to us? Since we are, Yoruba have a different calendar, the Chinese have a different calendar. Everyone has a different calendar depending on their perspective on the world we're living in, So how true is these calendars, and should we as a people be following a Gregorian calendar? That's my question.
Yeah, I think I had already spoken something about that, whether you were here or not, but I'll still say it. Whether you are having a different calendar, which calendar is the world rule on? I will ask you a question first before I can go ahead.
Yeah, clearly we are, like I said, we are under a Western paradigm.
So then, if we are under the Gregorian calendar, the Chinese have their own calendar, the Muslims have their own calendar, the Japanese may have their own calendar. Even we, the Ewe people, we also have our own calendar. But the general world in which we live is run on the Gregorian calendar. You can have your own calendar and do things in your own calendar. But the general thing that is done in the whole world is, we all know that there is a new year. You can choose to call it that it is your old year, or your new year had passed already, but the world is going and moving on. So the Gregorian calendar is accepted until when someone else will come, and that calendar will be the one on which the world will be ruled. The Chinese, even the Chinese, who are one of the greatest civilizations, the world is not ruled on the Chinese calendar. That's why they, after celebrating the Gregorian calendar, they celebrate their own too. They never said because we are Chinese and we are not going to celebrate a Gregorian calendar and we will not say we are in a new year. They join the new year, they do business, they do everything, and then when the time comes, they say, oh, this is Chinese New Year. So we as people practicing African traditional spirituality should come to the reality that no matter what you are practicing, there is a general thing that is flowing and has been here before you were born. When you swim against the tide, you will be the one who will suffer. That's the truth of life. There is a saying in Afa that when the wind is blowing and you face the blowing wind with your open nose, it's you who will suffer a chest pain. So don't let us be pretending as if the Gregorian calendar does not exist and we are now going to create our own calendar. Everybody has a birthday. But then if someone is celebrating their birthday, you cannot say because it's not your birthday, so you will not celebrate with them if they are your friend or if you are invited. So let us just stop the hypocrisy and stop thinking that we are doing African or Yoruba. Is the world run on Yoruba calendar? The world is not run on Yoruba calendar.
nor is it run on Ewe calendar or on Chinese calendar. The world is run on Gregorian calendar. Whether it is a new year for you or it's not a new year for you, it is regarded as the new year of the world. Let us be realistic in our approach towards spirituality. The Islam calendar is there. The Muslims celebrate their own calendar. But do they say because they have their own Islam or Muslim calendar, they don't celebrate the new year? They don't say so. Even today, if you go to Saudi Arabia, people will say we are in a new year. So let us be realistic when we are doing spirituality. The problem with the people in the diaspora is that I can understand the anger and all these things because of the treatment that were given to our ancestors, fathers, grandfathers, and the way the system is still run today. And you feel like, oh, you don't want to be part of them. But you are. Even if you don't want to be part of them, you are. Because if the government gives a holiday today, whether it is your new year or not, you celebrate it. At least you go home and stay home. And if the government asks you to come back to office, even if you are celebrating your new year, if you don't go after some time, they will sack you, unless you have your own business. And even if you have your own business and you say, because you are celebrating and the whole world is doing business, it is you who will suffer. Let us be very realistic in our approach towards spiritual practices. Let us not be hypocrites and create things that we cannot have total control of.
Yes, Papa. When I asked the question, I wasn't being angry. I was just expressing the reality of the situation because I specifically said that even I did my yearly reading, understanding that we are under another paradigm. So I'm not neglecting or wishing to go against it. I'm just saying that what truth, if it's really true, this based on our spiritual, how the world, how the nature functions, is it really the New Year's? I know this is the Gregorian calendar is business based, is government based, is a lot of things that this system uses as a way of war, because all of this is militaristic. Religion, the way we see time, the way we do things, everything has been designed in a way for we to function under somebody else's way. So my question was, how true is it that this is really the New Year?
Yeah, Baba Father, see, it's not I wasn't saying you were angry or anything, but I'm just trying to reiterate that the realistic or realism which we found ourselves in. If our ancestors or our fathers or our people were not colonized and they were having their own calendar as it is, like I said before, the Ewe or the people who practice Voodoo from our Ewe land, our months are 13 months. We don't have 12 months. We don't have 12 months in our calendar. We have 13 months in our calendar. And our new year comes after the yam harvest. Our new year is when we harvest crops and people celebrate. That's our new year. But today we still do our yam festival. Every community still do their yearly festival, and the people from that community, government give them permission to travel back to their hometowns and celebrate. I think Ghana's constitution has given that now. When it is your community's festival or yearly celebration festival, you are allowed to go. But even at the end of the day, these people go celebrate their own yearly festival, and then they ended up going to Thanksgiving ceremony in church. Even the chiefs and the whole community will go and celebrate their own traditional New Year, yet they all end up in the church on the following Sunday to celebrate and say we are doing Thanksgiving. on which calendar is the Christianity based? It's based on the Gregorian calendar. So at the end of the day, it's like you say, I don't like goat, but you are drinking goat soup. You know, I don't like goat, but then you are drinking the soup. So let us be realistic and stop being hypocritical about this thing. Every community have their own New Year, depending on what it was based on by their ancestors. But the Gregorian calendar is the universal calendar, at least for now. Maybe one day when the Chinese conquer the whole world, they may introduce their New Year in every community, and children will grow up to know that the Chinese New Year is the New Year. Or if one day the Arabs conquer the world and they decide to introduce the Islamic calendar as the calendar of the world, and then it falls on the Islamic New Year, then we will all celebrate it. But then for now, this is what it is. Whether it is true or it is not true, that is left to individuals to say. But the birth of Jesus Christ is celebrated as on the 25th of December. But Jesus, according to many records, was not born on Christmas Day. Okay, the Sunday that people go to church and the governments give you rest to go to church or to stay home and worship your God, was not the day that people, the Jews or the Hebrews, were celebrating as their resting day. It was Saturday, the Sabbath, was what they were celebrating. And when it has changed to Sunday, the whole world has accepted that Sunday is a day of worshiping of God. And we are in. That doesn't stop God from being what He is. It doesn't stop any spirit from doing what they can do for you. So this our hypocrisy of saying that this whether this is true or this is not true. Spirituality is not a group thing. It's an individual affair. You as a person, do what you know is good for you and do it well. Whether everybody is celebrating Christmas and you don't want to celebrate, and you know what to do that will make you connect yourself to spirituality or to your spiritual world, do. You can even celebrate Christmas and enjoy with the Christians, and yet still you know what you want in life. So it is a general hypocrisy of the world to say we don't like goat, but people are drinking goat soup. Because I see my chiefs in my village, when they go to their festival, afterwards everybody go to Thanksgiving. Somebody dies and the person is a traditional priest or whatever, and then everybody goes to church to say thank you. All kind of things. So it is happening already. But then you as an individual just know what you are doing and know that try to know it in the best way and do it in the best of your ability. And if you are getting benefit from it, then it's fine. Whatever you do and you don't get any benefit from, leave it out. So, Baba Father, that's what I can say. So let us just be ourselves and continue being ourselves.
All right. Thank you very much, Papa, for the long explanation. Just wanted to listen to your take on it.
Thank you for the question. We are all learning from everything that we are. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a blessed, wonderful year for you, Baba, for all of your sons, for all of your family. May this year be a year of clarity, of prosperity, of good health, long life, of exposure to new things, because we always continue to learn. And may we conquer all of the adversities, all of our enemies, and all of our internal and external challenges. Always.
Thank you very much, and I am wishing you the same and wishing all your family members the same.
I'm very grateful. Have a very wonderful year.
I say likewise. Thank you.
Okay, we have Alvin LeBron Hill Jr. saying, Alafia Papa, we are here. Thank you very much. Alvin, I called you earlier today so that I could talk with you, but then I think either you were sleeping, you didn't wake up, or you were busy. And then I was getting ready to start the program when your call was coming, so that's why I couldn't really pick your call. When I'm done, I'll call you and we can continue from where we left off. Thank you very much for joining, and Happy New Year to you and your family, to all the children. And then we have Mike Thomas. Hello, Papa. Is it true that the appearance of spiders or spider web in a home can be a sign of witchcraft? No, it is not true. I have not heard that appearing of spider webs and cobwebs in your house is a sign of witchcraft. I don't know about that. What I know about cobwebs crossing your path, not necessarily in your corner in your house, because after all there are spiders, and are the spiders witches? So if they make cobwebs, so then that means witches are in your house? Who said that to you? Spiders, nobody, God didn't create a spider to be a witch. So why should spiders web in your house be a sign of witchcraft? My brothers and sisters, sometimes some of these things will be created by people who do not really know spirituality. They had some form of a meaning of cobweb. They try to twist it and add their own thing to it. What I know about cobwebs is that when you are walking on a very plain open space whereby a spider cannot lay its web across because of the distance and no physical things on which the spider can jump from to the other to lay its webs, and you are walking and then you feel that a spider web has come into your face and you try to remove with your hand, but you couldn't really touch anything. What it is said from my knowledge is that means spirits are around you, or somebody is trying to send some spirits towards you, whether for negativity or positivity. That is not defined until you find out. But the more you experience spider webs coming around you, means certain energies or spirits are around you. They may be there for good, they may be there for bad, but you must find out what is happening. The moment you start feeling those, you walk in an open space and you see cobweb, even on a major road, you feel a cobweb coming around you. That's what they are talking about. People may say that it's a witchcraft or it's not a witchcraft, but that you need to find out. But nobody should say that when you see a spider web in your corner of your house, then that is a sign of a witch. So God creates spiders to be witches. Or don't you know that spiders live in corners of houses, in between broken walls and everything? So, Mike Thomas, sometimes some of these things frighten other people, but it is not true. Yes, spiders can also communicate wishes, but it is not because there's a spider web in your corner of your house means there are witches in your house. Thank you, Mike Thomas. Please move the line up. No. From Mike Thomas, yes, okay. Then we get our brother Getimile John Jimo Adereni. Papa, I needed prayers. My spiritual father is late. I need to take care of his family, but it looks like all avenue for me to make money is blocked. I call the family and I can feel the hurt in their voices. We are not in the same state and city. It pains me. I always felt his presence, and I used to ask him to help me with my job. Yeah, Timilei, I think you are just on the right path. If your spiritual master or your late spiritual master wants you really to help the family, he has to create a way for you to be able to help the family. Because you cannot help the family if you do not have. And if the little you have to take care of your own family, you will have to give it to his family, you will be looked upon, even in the spiritual world, as a fool and a stupid person. I'm not insulting you as a person, but I'm just talking about if what you have to take care of yourself and your family, and you have to give it to somebody else to take care of their family, and you will be wanting and be suffering afterwards, you will be looked upon as a fool and a stupid person in the spiritual world as well as in the physical world. But you know, our world is based on outlook, how you present yourself. Even if you are feeling pain, you need to be smiling. Even if you are hungry, you go and give your last penny to somebody to eat, then you go holding your stomach later. God will never forgive you. God never said that you should take care of your neighbors more than yourself. The Bible, who is regarded as a holy book of the Christians, never even said that you should look after people while you are in need. What you should do is continue praying to your late spiritual father and ask him to open doors so that you can have enough to be able to support his family. Because if you don't have, are you going to steal it? And if you go and borrow money that you may not have for a long time to come, you're going to be in trouble. Then the whole work that your spiritual teacher had done for you or done with you become useless. So get him engaged. Tell him that if he's really a real spiritual master and has gone into the ancestral world, here you are still suffering to help him, his family, put things together. So he should open doors for you. And if he is real, he will surely open doors for you. There's no two ways about it. Or you will get a reading from any good Babalawo and ask them, what can you do to connect with your spiritual master so that he can open doors for you to be able to get something to help the family. And I believe a good Babalawo, a good reader, should be able to connect with him, and they'll teach you some few techniques, and or few formulas, once you apply them, the doors will open. Your master will come through that door and bring things out for you. I had personal experience. That's why I'm telling it from my own personal experience, not from anybody's personal experience. I know what I am saying. So, Timilei, please put that into action and let me know your results. Thank you very much. That's the last one, eh? Okay. Okay, Vivian Bakar is asking a question. Is Jehovah a God or a spirit? Okay. The spelling is J-A-H. Jehovah. Not Yehovah, but Jehovah. But you see, in the Hebrew Kabbalah, which I practice too, there is what is called the Shemen Hamforash. I don't know whether you have ever heard this name before.
There is what we call the Shemen Hamforash, and then we have the Semi-Forash. The Shemen Hamforash the Shemen Hamforash and the Semi-Forash comprises of the 72 holy names of gods in the Hebrew Kabbalah or in Judaism. And 36 of these spirits or gods or deities rule in the daytime, and then another 36 rules at night. So that's why we have 24 hours making a day. These 72 spirits, some of them are very common with people like Elohim, Christ, or Jesus Christ, or Jesus, as people may call it, and Tetragrammaton, Pentagrammaton, Adonai, and all other names. They are all deities on their own. And these 72 holy names, there is Jehovah in it, and then there is also Jah. The Jah is more like the male aspect of the Jehovah. So when I command Jah, Jehovah, especially when I am commanding the Abraxas, I command Jah, Jehovah, which is believed to be the male and the female aspect of that God. And then the offspring of that Jah, Jehovah is Abraxas, or the Christ consciousness. As I had always said, these energies, gods, had been existing long before Christianity. And the people who had followed these energies were never Christians. They were just rallies. People who were following their tradition and having formulas that can connect them to the divine entity or to the spirit world. It is long after they were gone, even before Jesus or Emmanuel of Nazareth was born, if he was ever born, because even until today, sometimes I doubt whether he actually had existed. That's me personally. I don't talk about general, but me personally, sometimes I doubt. But I know that the energy had always been there. And that energy transcends every culture, every religion, every spirituality whatsoever, because no God in the universe or in the spiritual world belongs to any particular race or ethnic group. They are all energies, and you can tap them if you know how to tap them and make good use of them. The energy, or what people say God, let me use an analogy, maybe I can. It's like a river that is flowing. If you make a tribute, or you make a ditch, or you cut a ditch. When you cut a ditch in the river will flow through your path where you have cut, and go. Part of the river will flow through there and go to your farm, and then fertilize your farm for you, or wet your farm for you, in order for you to be able to plant your corn. Somebody may also cut his own portion, and it will flow into it, and he or she will make a fish pond out of it, and be raising fish, and be selling, and be making money. Someone also will block the river somewhere along the way and create a dam, and that dam will generate electricity, and then the electricity can bring light, it can bring your fan, your air conditioner, your
just anything that you use electricity for. But then the river by itself is not called electricity. It's not a fish pond. It's not a ditch where you whatever you may do. The river is just a river that is flowing. So is energy. The psychic plane is like a river that is flowing, and you can tap into it and draw your own energies or draw your own portion and then use it for whatever you want to use it for. So the river belongs to no one. God belongs to no one. And God is not a Christian, and God is not a Muslim. Neither is he a traditionalist nor an atheist, whatever you may say. God is God, or energy is energy, and it is there for each and every one of us. If only you can know how to tap it, you will be able to use it for the benefit of humanity and for the benefit of your loved ones. So when I call upon energies that have different names from my traditional Voodoo names, does not make any difference. It's only because that is the name I know how to call to draw it to me. Even though I learned it from a different tradition, it is also a tradition of some people. But for us in Ewe culture, we just call them all Voodoo. Anything that deals with the spirit world is Voodoo. Any spirit, but that's our language. Some people may call it a genie in the Arabic word. The Europeans may call it spirit, and then maybe other cultures and ethnic groups have their own names for it. So for me, I studied under so many different teachers from different cultures, and then I know which one to use whenever the need be, and I call upon them, and they don't disappoint me. Because I know their names, so when I call them, they also know me, so they respond to me. I don't need to be a Christian, I don't need to be a Jew, I don't need to be a Hebrew or Indian or anybody to call upon energies. I know how to tap into the energy field, and then I know how to use it for my own benefit and for the benefit of larger humanity. So Vivian, that's why the Jah Jehovah is a deity. It can be called a god, it can be called a voodoo. It is up to you what you call it. That doesn't mean anything. It is how you will use it to your advantage is what matters most. Thank you, Vivian Baka. Then we have Jenna Renee Henderson. Father, can you please teach about the different types of legbas? Is it true that Papa Legba holds a huge stick that's used to smite evil doers? I've dreamt about the crossroads being guarded by violent secrets. So one must know the correct way to cross and enter. The messages to me was strong. Don't summon a voodoo unless it has called and invited you, or you pay the price for disturbing the spirit. Hold it up to the top there. Let me answer that portion. You see, Jenna, there is so many confusion in the diaspora especially. And most of them also may be coming from our motherland here, where people who do not know what they are doing, they just create things. Yes, it is advisable that before you deal with any spirit, before you deal with any voodoo, before you deal with any genie, you should know what you are dealing with, know about it, make a research about it, connect with people who know how that spirit works, so that when you are able to connect with that spirit, you will know all about it so that it will not disturb you. Mind you, spirits have different energy level from us human beings because they are not physical, so they are just full of energy. And if you as a physical being is not matching their spiritual energy level, and you cannot deal with that energy level when you invoke and you call them, and you cannot balance it and control it. It can hurt you. Maybe that's what the person is trying to, or that's the message you are trying to get. But you see, before you can work with Baba Legba or with any spirit for that matter, you need to be initiated into them. You don't just call spirit just because you heard that Baba Legba is a spirit and is carrying a club and you can just... It doesn't know you. That spirit does not know you. And that's why we talk about initiation. Either it is an initiation into Ifa, or into Afa, or into Voodoo, or without those initiations, even if you are having dreams of them, you cannot invoke them and they will work on you. It is only people who know them, who have been in contact with them, are the ones who can invoke them on your behalf, and the spirit will listen to you. That's why even in our tradition on the continent of Africa, not everybody is a priest or priestess. It is only the people who have been initiated, who have been trained, who had undergone some form of training to be priests and priestesses, are the ones that other people go to and ask them to do things on their behalf. But you see, because a lot of people are writing books, a lot of people are saying all kind of things. Everybody who has not even been initiated thinks that these spirits are just there. You can just call them and they just come to you because you know about people calling them and they say, oh, they are very powerful, they are this, they are that, so you two, you just call them. No, it's not like that. People can tell you stories and all this thing, but if you really want to experience the reality of spiritual of spirits and spirituality, my sister, you need to be initiated, and the initiation simply means introduction. You need to be introduced to the spirit one way or the other. Otherwise, there is no way that spirit can really be communicating with you and giving you information, unless, of course, you are born an extra sensory perceptive or perception candidate. And even in that, you need training. No matter how good your psychic eyes are open, if without proper training, you may go crazy, you may go mad. Somebody needs to guide you and tell you, when you step here, it is firm, you won't fall. But then the next step is a little bit slippery, so don't step there. Rather, step another place. This is all that spirituality is. It's not like the way people, maybe because today we are on internet and all this, and everybody is just talking about whatever they know. Real spirituality, a lot of people don't know it. There's a lot of people who do not know what real spirituality is. They are just deceiving themselves. So if you want to learn about spirituality, get it through the proper way. People have been in spirituality for over 100 or 40, 50, 60 years plus. And maybe even 100 years. They have not even scratched any part of the reality. That's why most people like the religious aspect and want to use the faith, belief aspect of divine entity, if I should call it so, that, or hoping that if you just believe, it will work. Spirituality is a practical thing, and it's based on formula. It is not based on belief. It is not based on religion. It is not based on faith. It is based on practice, formula-based experiment. And then the experiences will teach you whether you are really dealing with spirit and knowing spirit. or you are not. So if your interest in dealing with Baba Legba or dealing with other people, get initiated into Ifa or Afa, and let your teacher not bring you on the religious aspect of Ifa. It should bring you on the spiritual aspect of Ifa and Afa. That's all that I can say. Wearing too many beads on your neck doesn't make you spiritual. It only tells people that you are trying to follow a particular tradition. The beads on their own do not have any power. It is the techniques and the formulas that will be taught to you are the ones that give you the spiritual power. That you can talk to nature and nature will listen to you. And I don't know how many of you were watching our live section there on the Friday night when we started the ritual. I think we started part of in the midst of the ritual when we drew the circle of the archangel that is ruling the world this year. What is the name? Archangel. Okay, wait, get me my. No, I want the English, the Hebrew form. I think it's Camiel, Samuel or Camiel or something. Yeah, because it's Saturn. It's in the notebooks on my table. I think the yellow cards. Let me see the exact, because I'm just not myself today. I'm not on the ground yet. So when we were about to start our program, we saw the skies, the cloud became very dark, which means there is a high possibility of the rain falling. And Senna and Marina, they were the ones drawing the seal. I tell you, when they were completing the seal to some point, Senna had to get dizzy. He could not stand himself. He started vibrating, so he had to go leave and go and take herbal bath to re-energize himself before coming to complete. And the same with Mawena. He started feeling dizzy and weak. When I told them they should just relax and take their time to finish it, and we were also seeing the sky that the rain wanted to fall. And if the rain had fallen, the seal would have been wiped out by the rainwater, and the effort that they did would have been useless, and the thing that we wanted to do wouldn't have come on. So what did we do? I just asked them to go and bring one of the vodus from the room. We set it up, and we asked nature that they saw what we are doing. We are doing our end of year rituals, and we are doing our end of year rituals. So I am begging them to give us some peace of mind, so that we can give us space, so that we can finish the rituals. Then the rains can come down. We are not telling the rain not to fall, but at the time we are working and we are going to do our rituals, the sky should give us a break, so that we can just accomplish their work. And the sky had listened to us, nature had listened to us, and before everybody's eye, it's not something that you have to go and do 40 days fasting or 7 days fasting, dry fasting. You don't need those things. It is just to know the formula. So we just put the formula, put some herbs down, put some up, and we call the voodoo and give it drink and say, please let this happen. And it came true. And we were able to finish our festival until even today. The rain is still trying to fall. It's even trying to fall, but it hasn't fallen yet. It hasn't fallen yet. So please, spirituality is a practicality. It is not based on faith.
It is not based on how many days you have fasted. It's not based on how many clothes or these things you are wearing or how many beads you put in your neck. I'm sorry to say so, but that's the truth. It may not sound very good to many people's ears, but that's the truth. Spirituality is a practical based thing, and it is based on formula. It is not based on faith or belief. Okay, we are having the Archangel Cassiel, which has the color of the earth, Saturn, blue, red, and white. That's why we are saying that it has corresponded with the Archangel Camiel, who also uses the same colors and have the same days. So we are having Archangel Cassiel being the one ruling the universe. So we drew one of its seals from the what do you call it? The lesser key of King Solomon, the king. And in that seal, we have what is written in Hebrew, but then translated into our English is Sapto, Arepo, Tenet, Opera, Rotas. Sapto, Arepo, Tenet, Opera, Rotas. And that was the seal that we used for to invite the Archangel Cassiel to work with us this year. So, Jenna, I can understand your desire and your everything. I know how genuine they are, but to be honest with you, let us find a teacher that can teach you and help you, grow you, so that you can grow and have that peace and happiness and know that you are one with nature and nature is one with you. You don't need to really struggle to call on nature to listen to you. And I know that's what you really want from inside. You want to be in charge of your life. You want to have control over your life and control over your activities so that nobody can bully you or, I mean, yes, you don't want to be like a paper in the wind or a leaf in the wind. You want to be in control. And I was once like you. My desire to be in charge of my own life was so intense that I had to leave my father's house and everything just to follow on a spiritual path. And here I am today, after 40 plus years. Here I am today. So I can understand. So, but then don't do what you don't know anything about. You may hurt yourself. And even if you do not hurt yourself, you may be deceiving yourself. Thank you, Jenna. I am here to teach you. So, yeah, Saeed, please move the cursor up. I think all the things I'm saying, people will say, what is this man saying? What is this Papa saying today? We are in a new year and we need to move forward. And people are saying, oh, why? This is all that we were doing, and then you are condemning. I'm not condemning anybody's thing, but I'm just telling the truth about what spirituality is supposed to be. It is because we had gone on the religious path. We didn't take the spiritual path. We took the religious path. And for that reason, we are still not in charge. We are still not in charge of our own lives even. We only believe in that Olodumare will do it for us. Olodumare will help us and things will be okay. Maoga Sombolisa will help us and things will be okay. Voodoo will help. No voodoo will help you if you don't know the formula to use to make him work. So it is with all the orishas. If you don't know the formula to make the orisha work, your wearing of that orisha's beads and dancing his songs alone is not going to create anything.
unless there is a spiritual teacher that is in charge and knows what to do to activate the energy. Like I use that analogy of the river. If you don't know how to create it, to get things out to work for you, it is just a river flowing and going. So Jenna, you don't need to invoke. Okay, let me read the whole of Jenna's this. I think I've already answered the questions that I have not read, but I have already. So bring it down from me. So let me start from the beginning, and then other people who are not watching can also see the question that Jenna was asking. Jenna said, "Father, can you please teach about the difference of legba? Is it true that Papa Legba holds a huge stick that used to smite evildoers?" Yes, Legba has a club. It has 2 clubs, some has 3. Mine has 3 clubs that we ask Legba to use it to beat people who are attacking us. It's not like she will go and attack just any evildoer. If somebody is doing evil and that person is not doing anything against me or any close person to me or any of my clients, I mean, let their karma be on their head. I'm not going to tell Legba to be going around the world and be beating people. Put the lesson of fun. I'm not going to go tell him Legba that my Legba that they will just go and attack everybody. I mean, what business do I have with someone who is doing this thing somewhere I don't even know? It's not my place. My place is to protect me, protect the ones that are under my care, and the ones that need my help. Those are the ones. I am not Father Christmas or Jesus Christ and say I'm going to die for the whole world. No. I'm not that stupid. I'm very sorry to say so. I have holds a huge, yes, Legba holds a big stick. I've dreamt about the crossroads being guarded by violent secrets. I don't know about that. Yes, crossroad, they say what is the crossroad is also like the 4 cardinal points of the world, and then also represent the cross, represent a whole lot of things. So the crossroads are said to be where 2 energies meet. So whichever crossroad you are dreaming of that had got secrets, I won't be able to tell from here. And violent secrets, I don't know how violent the secrets may be. They are all secrets of nature. So one must know the correct way to cross and enter. Yeah, maybe in that way, if they are saying you must know the correct way to cross and enter. It is the secret of life that if you don't know what you are doing, don't get into it. You may get into it and you may not end. You end up dying in it. So you must know the correct way of doing things before you even start doing them. So those are the messages to me was strong. Don't summon Vodu unless it has called or invited you. No Vodu will call and invite you if you don't have any association with them. Hardly a Vodu will just call you without you having any association with them, not knowing anything about them, and the Vodu is going to invite you. You must be in the hands of a teacher who probably his or her Vodus, or any Vodu for that matter, coming towards that teacher may invite you. But just by not knowing anything about any Vodu, without getting initiated into them, and the Vodu should start inviting you, then you must be very psychic. Very, very psychic. You say you pray, invite you, or you pay the price for disturbing the spirit. Okay, that aspect I'm not very sure whether you pay the price for disturbing the spirit, because if you don't know anything about the spirit, how are you going to call it before it will come? It is when you don't know anything, but then somebody told you something and you start to attempt invoking or anything, and then in case you have the invocation works correct, but you don't have the strength to hold the force, then in that kind of sense, you may be attacked or for disturbing the spirit's world. Yeah. Maybe you may be attacked for disturbing the spirit because he or she may be busy doing something and you keep bothering them and they will kind of get angry and kick your leg. I'm joking, that's what it is. Spirituality is not something to joke and dabble with. I am learning the seriousness of what you teach and how I handle myself in this journey. Everything matters because I'm watched by energies I can't even imagine. Yes, we are all watched by energies that we don't even know. That's why I always tell people that the energies that I even work with, I don't see them. Whether they are holding a club, holding a gun, holding a knife, or holding a dagger, I don't even know. That's why I listen to them. I follow their direction through the oracle and through readings, and then I just work. So we are working with energies that we don't always see them. When we want to know about them, we go through divination, making sure we are not going in the wrong direction. So to invoke energies, you need to be very careful, and energies are all watching us. So I've been tempted to invoke, but now I know that I better not invoke. I haven't been given permission or authority to do such. Please answer my above question. Thank you. Yeah, Jenna, that's what I'm just saying. Yeah, you are right. You need to be given authority to be able to invoke an energy and work with it or ask it for a favor or for a guidance. So people who have been saying so many things, they didn't even know what they are saying. But everybody wants to prove that they are God's people, or they are selected by God, or whatever. I mean, or they are spiritualists. Whatever you want, people want to do. I mean, I don't have a problem, but I am just teaching spirituality here. That's why I don't teach about religion. Yeah, I don't teach about religion. I am teaching you so that you can be in charge of your own life. You don't need me as all the time. After you learn, you can practice on your own, and you will be able to handle whatever you are practicing because you would have learned the basis already. Okay, then we have Daniel J.W. Simpson. Hello, Papa. Can you tell us how Kabbalistic practices relate to Voodoo? Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, Kabbalah is also Voodoo. As I kept saying, Voodoo is spirit, and Kabbalah is also dealing with spirit. Kabbalah deals with nature spirit, just like our spirits of creation or spirits of nature, just like how Voodoo does. And if you know the keys to what you do, you'll be able to use them to open the doors that can be opened. And then the keys need to be taught to you. And I believe those people who are learning from our shrine, whether they are here physically or not, those who have been initiated, who have been given one or two spirits to handle, can bear witness to the fact that whatever I am teaching here is what I do. And when I introduce them to the spirits, they can communicate with the spirit in some ways that is very clear to themselves and clear to the spirit. And when they wanted to know anything from the spirit answers them. They want to know whether this is the path to go. The spirit will tell them. Is this the right person to deal with? The spirit should be able to tell them. So I teach practicality. And Kabbalah is also Voodoo, but it is the way the Hebrews, the Jews, do their own thing, or the Hebrew. Whether they are still doing it today, I don't know, but I have things that I have studied over the years, which I still do, and they still work for me. So for me, it is Voodoo. And when I go to India, all the things that I have learned in India, the ones that I think are useful to me, I use them in my Voodoo, and it works for me. Because after all, Voodoo is spirit. Let me see the name of the person at the top. Daniel. So that's how Voodoo is to me. If I go to China now and I get any Chinese spirit, and it's working for me, and it's real, it's a Voodoo for me, it's a Voodoo. It does not matter whether it's coming from China or not, so long as I know how to do its invocation and to bring its presence to work with me. It is Voodoo. See, the problem we are having here is that people think that Voodoo, the word Voodoo, because it is an Ewe and a foreign word, it is only limited to spirits that are from the Ewe land and for area. Voodoo is only a word describing energies that our people have dealt with. And each Voodoo has a name and has its own attributes and the way it works. And Voodoo is a universal energy. I have been saying, that's why I was using the river analogy. Voodoo is an universal energy. You can tap it if you know how to, in any part of the world. Should I go to China today and go into any of their shrines or temples, if the Voodoo that people are worshipping there is real, I can connect with it easily and be able to get information. I don't need to be Chinese, but that energy is universal, and energy does not discriminate. If you put your hand inside electrical energy, whether you are a child, you are an adult, a white person, a black person, a green person, a yellow person, or a pink person, if it's going to kill you, it will kill you. And same it is, if you know how to use that electricity, whether you are a black person, a green person, yellow person, you're a pink person, brown person, whatever, if you know the formula and the process to use it properly, it will work for you and you will enjoy it. So energy is energy, and that's what Voodoo is. So people should stop confusing themselves thinking that Voodoo is only limited to Africa or black people. And this is where the confusion is. That's why people say, oh, don't teach our Voodoo to other people, they will use it to control us. Who told you that they didn't have Voodoo? They didn't have Voodoo and they were able to come and control Voodoo. Please, let's move forward. Then we have a full Martin Kobler again. He said, when someone submits for reading, do the spirit tell the person about their good prospects and what to do to maximum potential, as well as telling them the bad prospect and what to do to prevent bad events? Yes, when you want to do a reading, it is what you say on your money, what you speak on your money is the first thing that the Voodoo would take. Now the Voodoo or the oracle, when I say the oracle, I'm talking about the deity, because there is a Ifa deity that each person has. Those who are initiated into Ifa, people say the Ifa Ikins. Each person who is initiated into Ifa has those Voodoo. It's a Voodoo. Ifa is also a Voodoo. Ifa is also a Voodoo on its own. That's why it has its own rituals to be done, animals that will be killed, and ceremonies that you have to do, and things to observe. So when you ask that Afa what you want to know, Afa will go around you and come back and tell you that, okay, this is what is happening in your life that I have seen. Even though you were asking like this, you were acting like that, let me tell you what I have seen around you. Oh, this year, things are going to be okay up to the middle of the year, or maybe up to the quarter of the year. You will experience some turbulence between this time and that time. So try to avoid this thing, avoid that, and make sure you do this, you do that, so that the good parts will come to you and the bad parts or bad prospects will be prevented. That's all that reading is all about. Giving you an idea how to live within your current situation. Okay, move it up. Okay, then we have Nimako Fred. Papa, thanks for your prayers. Please, I need help. Please, I got many enemies in my shop, so my shop is round down. Please help me. I do not have any spiritual father yet. Okay, Mr. Fred, I think what you need is to consult our office line, the Shrines line, to book an appointment so that they can do a reading for you to see what is going wrong in your life, that your enemies are overcoming you. And I believe and know very strongly that when the reading is done, you will be given the proper direction and guideline. And if you are able to follow the guidelines, things will definitely change in your life. Thank you, Fred. And then we have Timile again here. Say, thank you, Papa. May your ancestors keep protecting you, sir. Thank you, my brother. And may the ancestors continue protecting you too. And may your spiritual father answer your prayers and give you guidelines. Hades, Eugene, Happy New Year to you, and thank you very much for joining the section. Your question is very interesting. It says, hello, Baba. One thing always stick with me that you once said is, Voodoo is not about faith, it's formula. Are these formulas given by spirit world or trial and error in your practice? I believe very strongly that they were given by spirit world, and also probably through trial and error, people have discovered which formula works and which one doesn't work. And these formulas have been laid down for generations. When you get initiated into our practice and got initiated by the proper people, and they see your demeanor and know what type of person you are, they will then release these formulas to you and tell you to experiment with them. And by experimenting with them, you will gather the experience. So it is not, as at now, it's not a trial and error. It is tested and proven practice. And anybody who comes to our shrine or to any very viable, authentic shrine should definitely be able to use these same formulas that have been laid down. And know, experiment, and experience the practicality of the formulas. So it is not a trial and error at this time. Because why I said that it could be trial and error is all because I wasn't there when our ancestors were putting these formulas down. Whether it was given to them by spirits or it was through trial and error, formulas that they put down are working. And my fathers have used it, my great-grandfathers have used it, and I'm using it and I'm seeing the results. So that's why I say our practice, faith or belief, they're based on practicality, they're based on formulas.
They are more like a formula. Nature is your laboratory where you can practice and see results. Thank you very much, Eugene. And then the second question is, will these formulas work for anybody who uses them or depends on person? It works for every formula should work for everybody. Why should it depend on people? Scientific formulas are not depending on this. That's why I was saying whether you are green person, yellow person, or yellow or blue person. When the formulas are properly laid down and you practice according to the formula, why should it be working for only somebody? It should work for you. It's not based on faith. It is when you are basing your approach to divinity on faith and belief. That is when it may work for somebody, it may not work for somebody, because maybe somebody may have a greater faith than another. I don't know. But formulas are not faith-based. When you put your hydrogen and 2 plus 1 oxygen, what do you get? Said, what do you get? You get water.
1 molecule of hydrogen plus 2 molecules of oxygen is water. H2O.
Okay. So two molecules of hydrogen and 2 molecules of oxygen, H2O. 2 molecules of hydrogen plus 1 molecule of oxygen gives you water. That's why it is H2O. So it's a formula, and when you put it anywhere, wherever you put it, H2O, you get the same result. So it is more like, I won't say it's more like, it is science. It is science. When properly put, it works. If you miss one of the equation, one figure of the equation, then it will not work. That's when you begin to pray that it should work. No, it will not work. If it is not complete, it's not correct, it's not going to work. But knowing the correct formula and putting it down, it has to work. It does not work for people. But that's why I said that before a teacher will teach you this, the teacher will have to know you. It has to know your demeanor, the way you look at life. Are you going to use this to be destroying people? Are you going to use this to be bringing life? Are you going to use this to protect and help people? It is upon that, if we talk about personality, that I give a formula to students, and they will use it to help people. I may have the formula, but I will select the know that we use it for the benefit of humanity. There is something in our Akpo, which is one of the vodus that we work with for so many years, that if a person is seriously sick with stomach problem, there are certain herbs you will gather. You mash these herbs, sieve them properly, and you, the healer, you will drink the medicine on behalf of the sick person. And the person, within 5 to 10 minutes, the person has to wake up. It is not the person who is drinking the medicine. It's you, the healer, who drinks the medicine on behalf of your sick client. And it's a formula. And I have taught, I watched them demonstrate it physically. And they knew that, so if I did today or tomorrow, the same formula that I taught them to succeed. Then we have our big sister Oluchi also, okay? Great evening, Papa, with peace and love, and I'm just coming. Oh, hello, big sister, and Happy New Year to you. May this year bring happiness that you have never known. A blessing beyond blessings to you, and may the doors open for you, and may you have successful year. I'm always here, and I'm very grateful for all your support. May the ancestors continue opening doors for you. Thank you. Then Hades Eugen said, thanks, Papa, for answering my question. Thank you, Hades Eugen. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful that you asked that question because we are all learning. Somebody may want to ask it, but maybe they didn't know how to phrase it. But the way you put it, it makes it clear for everybody else to also learn and understand. And what is the last one there? No, forget. Let me see the. Okay, after our big sister Luchi say, same to you, big sister. I'm grateful to you. And then we have on YouTube. We have gone through that already. I think Samuel Duck is the person. Many viewers in Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus are watching your videos. And when will there be a video with Russian subtitle? Samuel Duck, I'm very grateful for that. And people in Ukraine and Belarus and Russia, until we get someone who speaks Russian. So far, my children can only speak English, French, Japanese, Chinese, Spanish, and some Portuguese. We have not yet gotten anybody from my children who speaks Russian or Ukrainian and Belarusian language. And the person I know that speaks what do you call it, Ukrainian, and listen, they are not interested in the Voodoo work, so I cannot ask them to come and be translating my Voodoo work for me. But as you say, definitely, I believe that one day we will have someone who will be interested. Okay, I have a medical doctor student who's studying in Ukraine, and okay, I'm going to ask him if one day he can use his good time to translate the videos for me. But he's a medical doctor. He was my student when he was young, but he's full of responsibilities now. We will see. If you can recommend anybody, Samuel, if you can recommend anybody, we will definitely work with the person. So let me know. Give me some idea. Thank you. I'm very grateful for that. Oh, for Martin Kobler, I say how I come about Jewish Kabbalah. Kabbalah is up there a long time before I was born. It is through the teachers that I learned from. They introduced me to Kabbalah as well. They were also seekers, and they have found a way. And when I became their student, they were able to teach me and introduce me to Kabbalah. And I have learned and worked with it, and I'm still working with it as well. So it is not anything special. Kabbalah had always been there. People who are interested in spirituality, in real spirituality, they seek knowledge from different places. They don't stick to one place. So that's how they came about it. They are also Africans just like me. And I had learned from them. Okay, move this in up. That's the last one there. Okay, so we have Samuel Duck was talking about the Russian, Ukrainian, and Belarus people watching me, and they definitely would love if we could translate our videos and everything into their language, which I hope and pray that one day it will happen. My children, they like studying languages, so let's pray. We'll find somebody. But then if Samuel Dax can introduce anyone to us, we'll be very glad to work with the person. Thank you. And the people on the clubhouse, please, do you have any question for me? I've been talking plenty here, so please tell me.
Hello, good afternoon, Papa. This is Kojo. I have a question.
Yes, Kojo, go ahead.
Yes, so I know you taught us many things about Esther and destiny. And recently I had a thought about karma and destiny. I was wondering if there were any connections between this, or if you could break down if there are any connections between karma and destiny.
Okay. Karma is a Sanskrit word for, what do you call it? Actions and their reaction. It's a Sanskrit word for action and reaction. Whatever action that you do, there is equal and opposite reaction. And that is the word karma. And in destiny, whatever you create, you will also reap. What you sow is what you reap. So there is not, the karma is not the destiny. Karma is not destiny. But karma is the actions that you have taken that are written down in your destiny. Your destiny is your inner self. So karma is not your inner self. Your inner self in Sanskrit is called Atma. It's called your Atma. That is your soul. But whatever you have created while you are in this physical world, because your soul, your destiny, your inner self is watching you, you have written those down. That is the karma. I don't know whether I can use the examiner. Is it examiner or okay? Let's say you go to an examination hall, and then you write your answers. They give you the questions, and you write them down. The question you have written down is coming from you. That is your work, right?
Yeah.
So when the examiner comes, is going to mark them. The ones that needs to be correct, they will mark them correct. And the ones that needs to be wrong, they will mark them with X or wrong. So the work that you have done is on that paper. The examiner will take the grains out of the chaff, or the chaff out of the grain. So it is with karma and your essay or destiny. Whatever actions that you have created will be there. And when the time comes for you to pay, the ones that are wrong, you pay for them. The ones that are good, you pay for them. But it is not the action that you did is your destiny. It is your creation. You as an individual have created that action, and then you need to pay for it. If it is good action, you get a good result. If it's a bad action, you get a bad result. That's all that karma is, as it related to the Atman or to the inner self. So whatever you have written down on that paper is you, your work, and it is there as evidence of your work, and it cannot be escaped.
Okay. And does this evidence always get repaid during the same life, or can it also flow into the next life in reincarnation?
It can flow into your next life, because if you are not able to pay all before living, it will flow into your next life. That's why I say sometimes you can even become an animal. You don't know. A human being can become an animal, because your soul, instead of getting into another human body, may take an animal body for you to be able to experience certain things that
you had done, and maybe it is only in that form that you can experience it. So your nature decides where you be. So it is good to do good, and it's good to be conscious of every action that you take, knowing well that you get the results.
Okay, thank you, Papa.
You're welcome. Yes, any question on any question from the clubhouse? Okay, my cousin Martin Kobler is here on Facebook again, and for Martin is saying your niece Victoria is here with her mom, and they are wishing you a happy new year. Happy New Year to Victoria, and Happy New Year to Auntie. Thank you very much all, and I am wishing you the best of the year. May you grow in strength. May you gain more of life, knowledge, wisdom, and may happiness smile at you this year. Thank you very much for Martin Akpe. Then Hades Yugin said, I admire and look to you as a real and genuine teacher. If more were like you, the world would be a better place. We need you, Baba. Don't even stop keeping it real. I must shake your hand one day. I look to give all the true elders their flowers while still here. A man like you deserves the whole meadow. Much love, Baba. I love Baba, one love. Thank you, Hades Yugin. I'm very grateful. I think every teacher has their own approach, and then it is from the experience that they had gathered that everybody is teaching. Some teachers did not pass through the same path that I had passed through. So they may also be teaching the same thing in a real form, but maybe in a different way or with a different technique. But I personally had really struggled with my spirituality from childhood, and it has nearly gotten me crazy. And I lost many important things and happiness that young people at my age when I was young were having, just because I was so crazy with these spiritual things, and they didn't give me peace of mind. I will always say that maybe they were preparing me for like this time that I have to teach. So even though I had lost a lot of happiness in my childhood, things that people could do and have fun, I didn't have those. I didn't because I was more into hermetism, like a hermit. And I started very early, and I lost my childhood somehow, I would say. But all the same, it turns out well today that I am here. I am able to teach you, and I'm able to tell you, not from anybody's experience, but from my own personal experience. Maybe that's why you may find my teachings to be more realistic. I'm talking from my own personal experiences, and not from anybody's books that have been written, stories that have been told. No, I don't believe in stories. Until I see it and experiment or experience it, I don't just believe. Thank you, Hades. You know, one time you made me angry, and I got angry with you. But here we are today, on the same page, learning from one another and understanding. Spirituality is an individual thing. It's not a group thing. and each and everyone find the way to connect. Some people, it may be through attacking each other or confrontation. But that's the way that your destiny wants to pass you through to get there. So that's why patience is the key to life. And patience is the key to spirituality. Let me, I see, okay, then, oh no, let me finish the other question before going to Juliet. What are you doing?
My last question.
Are you sure? Okay. If you that's the last question, then let's go to YouTube where we have Juliet A. Happy New Year, Bokor. Hello, Juliet. Happy New Year to you, Bokor Christopher. And I am an AMT family. I'm grateful for your teachings and look forward to learning from you in this new year. Yes, Juliet. Thank you very much for the support. Continue. Thanking you very much for everything. I am here to teach. I only pray that my health will improve so that I can have enough energy to be able to teach you people for a long time to come. It is very interesting seeing you all beginning to wake up and understand that spirituality is a reality and it is an individual approach. It is not a group thing. And my path may be longer than some people's own, and maybe some people's own may even be longer than my own. But if with a sincere heart and a good teacher, you will definitely reach, and you will experience the beauty of nature and the beauty of what is called God. And Juliet again is saying, is it possible for someone to have an innate natural relationship and knowledge to spirit that they cultivate on their own? Though I understand your position, I'm in a debate about this. Why are you going to cultivate the spirit of your own? That's the first question. Why are you going to cultivate the spirit of your own? If you are already doing a spiritual work, you are being initiated, and you are on spiritual path, and then some spirit come across your work, and the spirit likes you and sees that you are a person that it can work with, the spirit has to reveal itself to you, either through a reading or sometimes in a dream. And when a spirit reveals itself to you in a dream, the spirit has to teach you the formula, the things that you have to put together to make it come and work with you. So, should you wake up and remember your dream vividly, and you look for these items that you have seen in your dream being told to you by an elderly person, a genial person, an animal, or something that you may regard as a spirit. Because when spirits are coming to teach you, they are not coming in the form of a spirit. They will come in the form of somebody you respect, somebody you know, somebody you have some relationship with. They will take that form in your dream so that they don't scare you, so that you can feel comfortable to understand what they are trying to communicate. So when you wake up, you realize, this was a dream. But how could that be? Then, whatever was taught to you, you put it down into practice. And if you practice it for a while and it starts showing, it starts showing results and things started happening, then you know that the spirit has really come to you. And then you must hold that spirit very firm and work with it. And if you work with it, I tell you, that spirit will work. But in some other ways, someone can see you and so you and see how you are struggling, and so let me teach you this. Maybe it will help you. And maybe it is the spirit that is telling the person to teach you, and the person will teach you on physical plane. And when you start practicing it, you see. You see, my Akai, I had always spoken about Akai. I did not know Akai long before
I got Akanyi around 1993. Okay, 1993 to now is roughly 27, 28 years. Said, 1993 to now is, okay, maybe 2003, 2023 will be how many years? 2023. It will be 30 years.
28 years, Papa.
It will be 30 years. 2023 will be 30 years. So I'm in my 29 years working with this spirit. Okay? So if I had been working with this spirit for 29 years and I still talk about it and I still praise it and I'm so much passionate and so much in love with it, then that means it's been a spirit that had always been with me and had always proven itself beyond doubt that it's working with me. But Akanyi was introduced to me by one of my teachers. I've been doing spiritual work from childhood, for myself and sometimes for friends, from childhood, even from primary school. But those days I didn't really know anything. I didn't have so much information about what I have now. So when I was taught Akanyi in 1993, initially people were using Akanyi to give to call women, call girls, and they will come and take the oil from my teacher and use it to go to their market. And they make business, they get their clients and every time, and then they come back following day, buy some drink, and they will pour for the Akanyi as a voodoo to say, and then maybe give some money and say thank you. Because Akanyi is an attraction spirit. It's a spirit that attracts people to you and opportunities and the spirit world also towards you. But then it was being used on that low level. Whether I would call that level a low level, I don't know. But people who were using it were not using it for what I am using it for today. So when I got Akanyi, I tuned it into a different way whereby it can help me more on a broader scale than just going to get a client for a prostitute woman. Prostitution to me is not a crime and it's not a sin, and it is not, I see nothing wrong with it. I'm not talking from that base of looking at a prostitute as a very bad person or a good person. No, far from that. I don't see anything wrong with prostitution. It is the way somebody makes their living, and that's the way somebody takes care of their responsibility. So I have nothing against it whatsoever. That's not the point. But I tune Akanyi in a way that I wanted some things to happen in my life, and then slowly they happen. This is a story that I will tell today. I don't know whether I have told it before. My son Senna wouldn't have been born alive if Akanyi had not been part of his conception. God, my wife was told that she would not have a child anymore. But then when I talked with Akanyi, he gave me assurance that I shouldn't worry. She will get pregnant and have a child. And I was still new with him, so I was doubting whether that would be possible. The doctor said something, but he told me something, so I don't know which. And then the things that he told me to do, I started doing them. And then my wife got pregnant with Senna. When my wife was in the 7th month,
her water broke, and they have to deliver Senna, a premature baby, weighing barely 1 kilo. So I was scared, and my wife too was scared. Before Senna was given born, there were so many tests that she had gone through. People said the baby, some hospitals said that the baby will be a Down syndrome child, so she should do abortion to avoid the problems in the future. That's from hospital in Japan, advice. Then I asked Akai, you told me this would be, and then this is what we are doing. Akai told me to ignore whatever anybody is saying. So Senna was born. He was in the incubator for some time. The mother had to take her breast milk and go to the hospital, and they have to feed him through the nose. I think he was only eating about 4 cc at a time because he was too tiny to eat anything heavy. But today, because Akai had given me so much assurance, and with my working with Akai, from where I got it from and how it has worked for me today, Senna, my son, is the one who started revolution. And it is through this revolution today I come here to talk to you. I have my spiritual shrine, I have my African Magic Temple, but I never would have thought of teaching to the world as we do today. I only do things for people who know me personally and who need my personal assistance. But through Senna and his junior brother, Pele, they decided to do this so that I can teach the world. They started the program and then they asked me, Papa, can you do it for us? Can you continue? And then I am doing it. So I had walked with this spirit for some time now, and I know what it is. So for someone to say that a spirit you can constitute a spirit by yourself or cultivate a spirit on your own, how are you going to cultivate it? Somebody must hand it to you, and then slowly you will master its way or cultivate it, or grow with it and mature with it, and the spirit become part of you, and you become part of that spirit. So anytime you even, just by thought of it, the spirit's presence is with you. You don't need to do fasting and wailing and shouting and crying and hitting the ground with broom and whatever. No. Just by a mere thought of it, you are connected. It's like pressing a switch on the wall and the light comes. If the connection is correct, once you press it, the light will come. Unless there's a problem in the connection. When you press, then nothing comes. Then you call the electrician to come and fix it. So that's how, Juliet, that's how spiritual cultivation may be. But when a person is not having any idea and has not been introduced into any spirit, I wonder how they are going to cultivate that spirit. But there's so many people out there who are just talking about things that they heard from others that they themselves had not personally experienced. So I hope one day, physically and practically, we will meet, and then you will understand more of what I am saying. And those who had met me physically, and who had taken physical training and physical initiation from me, will attest to the fact that what we do here is totally different from what people know around the world. Thank you very much, Juliet. I'm very grateful for that question. And I think there's someone from Russia or Belarus or Soviet bloc also wrote something which I cannot really read. So I'm very sorry. Like what Eugen, is it Eugens who said that, or who said that one? No, somebody said something that there is so many. Samuel Dark said that Ukrainian, Russia, and Belarusians are looking. We hope and pray that one day we should be able to reach them in translation so that we can all share and also listen to their views and stories. Because I know very strongly, not that I have had any personal experience, but I know very strongly that people in Russia, people in Ukraine, and then all the Russian enclave, Latvia, and all these people are very, very deep traditional spiritualists. Even though they have Christianity, but they have their own natural spiritualists. I had this knowledge long time when I was growing, so I would not be surprised if people are interested in this. Maybe one day. I would not be able to begin to learn Russian language now and then one day start to talk in Russian language. No, I'm too old for that. Old dogs don't hear language. Old dogs don't have names anymore. If you are an old dog, when they call the name for you, you will not know it's your name. But if you are a new dog, if a dog is young and you start calling some name for it, after some time it knows that, oh, this is its name. But when the dog is grown, if you are calling any name, you just listen to, it's just another noise in its ears. So me, I am an old dog. I cannot learn new languages now. The ones I have learned so far are plenty, and I still remember some of them. I'm using them little by little. So I hope one day someone will come forward and translate, like how Lamine Diakite is translating into French for people who speak French. Thank you very much. And Juliet is saying, thank you, I understand. I'm very grateful, Juliet. Thank you for the question. I think we are all learning. And then let's go back to Facebook. If there's anything there, if there's nothing there, please, Clubhouse, come with your...
Hello, Papa. Kojo again. I have a follow-up question.
Go ahead, Kojo.
Based off the breakdown you gave me.
Yes.
So, with the example you gave of somebody who scammer didn't do good things and would come back, say, for example, as an animal.
Yes.
When they come back as an animal, does that person have a different destiny or the same?
It's the same. It's the same destiny, but they are just expressing part of the karma that they had acquired.
Oh, okay.
A time will come, they will move out of that stage when they are able to fulfill and pay for their karma. They will be able to move onto this thing. Don't you see trees in the forest who look like women? Don't you see trees in the forest that look like men?
Yeah.
Yeah, how come? Don't you see certain animals trying to behave more like a human being than animal? Have you ever experienced animals that try to behave like human being more than an animal?
Yes, I have.
So that's where I'm coming from.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, Koju. And then Hayden's Yugin is saying, yes, hats off to you, and thank you very much, Yugin. I'm very, very happy that we are working on the same page. And then we have D. Cruz saying hi. Hello, D. Thank you very much for joining the section. I'm very grateful. I think this air conditioner is super. I think it's cooling like we are fish. So, okay, anyway, Hades, you can say, I'm 31, black man from Louisiana. I have 4 kids, Baba. Down a little bit down. I have 4 kids, Baba. Is it or will it be selfish to separate from your family to learn through spirituality? No, it is not selfish or this thing. You don't need to separate totally from them to learn spirituality. If you want to learn from our shrine, what I will advise is you may come to take initiation for maybe a month or 2, or maybe maximum 3 months, go through so many basic things, and then come back to your real inner self, get in touch with your real inner self. And then from there, you can be anywhere else in the world
and continue learning more. And whenever you have the need that you wanted to acquire some new energy to work with, you can always come back and we'll put the things together, invite the energy, ask the energy if it wants to work with you, and then we'll hand it, that energy to you to work. So you don't have to be selfish. Maybe your children may suffer for about 2 or 3 months without seeing you. But then today the world is full of technology. You can always talk with your children. They can always see you. They may not touch you physically, but you will let the children know that it is for them, for their future. You are doing what you are doing, and I believe they will understand. Or else, you come with your whole family, you come here, and you will learn. And they also will be learning alongside with you, so that when they grow, they will continue from where you will leave off. Like this festival that we did this 2021, I actually gave the responsibility to the children to be doing so many things. So it's more like I am moving away from the main scene so that they can take that platform. I will always be behind them and support them and guide them, whichever way they don't understand. If they want to make a decision that they are confused about, I am always there. It is still my shrine, I'm still with them, but I want to hand over the responsibility of managing the shrine and the things I do to them. And slowly, and when they are able to get to the level of knowing how to initiate people and be able to transfer power. And I'm also talking about Shamba Musa as well, when I'm talking about this, that slowly, once they all know how to handle this, I will just relax and let them take over. So you can bring your children into it, if your wife will understand the same. And learning the real thing gives you power, so that when you talk, you will talk what you do, and you will do what you talk. And if you say nature should move, nature will move. And if you say nature should stop moving, nature will stop moving. It is knowing the secret of nature that gives you that power. And that is the truth. We are not joking with spirituality. And we are not here to deceive or play games with people's passion. I would rather not teach you than to take your money and deceive you. If I will not teach you, I'll tell you I will not teach you. You will not do me anything, and nobody will do me anything. And the world will not get angry with me. My spirit of you, the universe, will not get angry with me. But if I say I will teach you, that means I will teach you. And I will teach you everything that I myself, I know. And when I teach you, you will be able to do just as I can do. I think I'm speaking like Jesus Christ, who said that I'm not going, and when I go, I'll send you spirit and you will do the same thing. But the people are lying. Nobody is doing anything like Jesus. They're just thieves. So you can say you have, so you can come. So I'm the breadwinner of my family, but I really feel like I'm more than just father and provider. How was it like for you making the decision to go find serve in a living in a family behind? It wasn't easy, but you see, it was like madness for me. It was craziness. I have gone through so many things that could have killed me. I've gone through a lot of spiritual practices that could have killed me, but somehow I think my destiny just wanted me to have them as experience, so that when I talk from experience base.
It wasn't easy leaving, especially my mother, behind, because I was so fond of my mother. But leaving my mother behind was the strongest decision I have taken. But then, God so good, I came back home. She was still alive, and we interacted for a while before she passed on, which is good. So it is up to you, and also you must make the people who depend on you to understand where you are coming from and why you are doing what you want to do. Thank you very much for the question, Hayden. Eugene, rather. Hades Eugene, yeah. Like that one, and let's see if there is any more. I think it's finished. Okay, we have Wilson Ometan. Awesome. Thank you very much, Mr. Wilson, and Happy New Year to you. That's all for Facebook, and I think we are also all for YouTube. And is there anybody on Clubhouse that wanted anything to say? Have anything to say? Because I was very weak when I started the program, because I'm not really health-wise. I am not myself, and I had also what do you call it? Work over the weeks trying to put these things together. So it's the last days I made the children to just take over and do most of the things. What they couldn't do, then I helped them to do. I think most of the this thing was live. So some of you who would have seen that I was only guiding them. So I wasn't really strong this morning. But when we started the program and getting to here, I've gotten some kind of energy. I don't know, but maybe because when I am talking about the energies that I work with, they energize me. Because I'm doing their work, they energize me, and this gives me extra energy. And that's the truth about it. I wasn't really good from the beginning. You could also, or if you were listening to me very carefully, my voice was quite low, and I was just taking it easy. But now I am fine. So thank you all for being part of this, and thank you all also for being part of my journey. It's not easy. It's not been easy, but I think that we have laid the groundwork down. So it will continue growing. The foundation has been laid down, so it will continue growing. Anybody on Facebook, on YouTube, Clubhouse?
Hello, Papa.
Yeah.
Papa, I used to just maybe get better explanation.
On what?
What happened yesterday. Yesterday, as we were driving, there was a young lady who was sitting in the crowd, minding her own business, for lack of better word. And then a lady got mounted by a spirit. And this lady got cleaned up without requesting. I would appreciate if you could speak a bit more about that. She was actually washed with nyanya, cleaned with cleaning herb, and then the lady now powdered her up and said, okay, you're clean, you can go. But it was not requested. It was not something that was proud discussed. How does that happen, Papa?
I think, you see, when a spirit mounts a person,
The spirit has a reason to mount a person. It's not like a spirit just jump on people just because he wanted them to see that there's a spirit here. No. There are some who are just also fake, like the church ones. But when a spirit mounts a person or mounts an individual in the crowd, it probably wanted to deliver a message. Or when a voodoo mounts a person, it wants to deliver a message. So maybe when the young woman who was in the crowd sitting down, the spirit noticed that there is a challenge in that young woman's life.
Okay.
And unfortunately, that young woman also happens to be my grandchild.
Oh.
Okay. But they are more on this Christian way, and they also know about the tradition from they know the tradition, but they ignore it, and they go to church, and they would rather go to church than to do it. So somehow I had also told her a long time ago about the spirit in the family that wants her to be a priestess. That's long before yesterday's incident. And then she said, no. She's not ready for that thing. She's not interested at all. Meanwhile, she knows about that spirit. So it could be that spirit that had mounted the woman, her own family spirit, mounting the woman to kind of cleanse her from her doubts or whatever is happening in her life. I don't know. She's a young woman, but she's not a baby. She has a child. Her child is almost about 4 or 5 or 6 years old child. So it's not just out of the blue. There must be something that is really happening.
Okay.
Because there were so many people in the crowd. Why her?
Yes, Papa.
Why her?
Me, I did not even know about this at all until you are talking about this now.
Nobody knew about this. Nobody knew about this, the thing I'm saying now. It's only me who knew, because she is from my paternal side in Alabanyo, from the same house, Atafi family. And there is a spirit connected to that family. And she did a reading, and that spirit came through that she wants to work with her, but she said no. It's like, no, this is a taboo. I don't think so. I don't want. So I wasn't surprised yesterday when I saw that they were putting some herbs around her. I left the place even and went to my room. And these people who came, they never knew her. They don't even know that they didn't even know that she was related to me in any way. They just saw her as one of the people who came. So there must be something that is happening. We need to ask and find out.
Okay, Papa.
Yeah,
I've got the footage, then, so you can have a look at it when I'm done.
Okay. I mean, I left the place. I went into the room, so I don't know what had happened. It was when I came back that I saw that the mother was telling me that they put some powder on her and all this thing. So we thank God. Maybe I told the mother maybe she was cleansed.
Yeah. I will send you the footage, Papa, then I think you'll be in a better position.
Yes, when we meet, I will watch the clip and then see exactly what had happened.
Okay, Papa.
But then she was supposed to be a priestess.
But me, there's this thing about the drum. When the drum plays,
the spirit will come.
The drum hasn't played yet. It will soon play.
Okay, so anyway, Hades Yugin was saying 100%, 100 means maybe my answer and the things I said probably is feeling it as a good thing. And then, and also Hades Yugin is saying, glad you are feeling better, Baba. Can't keep a good man down. Thank you. And I'm thanking all of you for your love. Then we have Jenna Henderson saying, wonderful discussion. Thank you. Thank you too, Jenna. I'm happy to see you every time when you are here. Then my big brother, my cousin for Martin in the UK, saying that Hunoga, I respectfully request that you bring this program to an end for now, as you are not feeling well, so that you can rest well and continue your work next week. Much love. Thank you very much for your consent. So I'm going to bring the program down just after speaking, reading this, and then we'll put it down. Thank you. And then we have Amen for Benjamin. Say hello, Godfather. Hello, Benjamin. How are you? Thank you very much for joining the session. And then Hades Yugin again is saying, Baba, I know we think of ourselves, but how important is divination for children? You can divine for children. They are your children. They are under your care for now. And if they cannot speak on their own, you as their father or parent or guardian can speak on their behalf and do a divination to find out what should be done. One of my little boys, he was 6 years, and we already initiated him into priesthood because I have seen his behavior, and he was initiated into priesthood. But then there was still some traces when he sleep at night. Certain things have been coming, and he'll be shouting and making noise. So I also did the removal of the bad destiny for him, and there's been a lot of changes in his life. I've been watching him. So when children are under your care until they are able to make decisions on their own, you are responsible for them. So you can do a reading or divination for them. Are we done with the Facebook? There's no more thing. And then I think with the YouTube we are. And Sana, if there's anybody on or in the clubhouse, please let them ask me a question if there's anything to say. If not, then we'll be closing the section.
Papa, I just want to say that I enjoyed watching the whole ceremony. It was beautiful.
How shaman?
And I pray and hope I'll see you soon, Papa.
Yes, my prayers is that you will be here soon. Let's see how the weeks will go. Let's see how the weeks will go. You will be here with me sooner than later, and you continue your learning, because you need to be over there to be able to help people who really need our help but can't come over to Ghana because of cost finances. So you need to be well prepared to take care of people who are there.
Yes, thank you, Papa.
You're welcome. And then we have our big sister, Ifada, and say, Papa, I'm most grateful. Many thanks. May your ancestors keep you. And may they keep you too. May your ancestors keep you and bring happiness into your life. Thank you very much. I'm most grateful. Okay, we'll leave this section today. And I don't know, but I think I'm being very emotional today. So we'll leave this section, and my condolences to Baba Oloye's family and to all of his students and people who had been part of his life. we hadn't had that much time, but the little time that we had with him was a wonderful time. He's so good in what he do or what he did, and he is very passionate about it. So may the ancestors give him a resting place, and may his soul come back quickly to continue from where he left off. Wishing him a safe journey, and also the families. My condolences to all of you. So, Senna, is Senna still there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Okay.
Hello, Papa.
Yes. Is that Senna?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to close the section for today. If there's no more question, then I'm going to close the section.
No problem, Papa.
Ask if there's anybody who wanted to say anything.
Does anybody have any final comments or any questions? Any last comments or questions about the New Year readings, anything like that?
I just want to say thank you to Papa for all that he's done for us. Such a beautiful ceremony. It took a lot of toil on him personally, but in spite of that, he still went ahead to do it for all of us. And I just want to say thank you.
You are very much welcome, big brother. I'm very, very grateful. I'm also so grateful for all your support in every way, physical. I knew I was sick, and you were advising me I should take some days off, and you are always there to assist, and I'm very grateful for all. Okay, somebody came at the last minute. He said black identity. The number to contact is always there, so please just look into it. You'll see what is there. And then Hades Yugin will say, I appreciate you, much love to you and yours. Thank you very much, and the same here. And then Black Identity was talking about the number. We have the number printed there many times, and if you go through today's program, you will definitely see the number to contact. Go mauga soboli sa medo ago mauga kitikata medo ago mauga se medo ago me yo sheme ham fura show pese mi fura show pete medo ago e me yo abraxas me yo si adrepo do ago yo ta adreto be vema kuwa wo vesoton kama yo medo ago me yo mi ano zo je anyi de zo kaka chikazi bo shi adre me ala fa banya gbe mi la kwi banya gbe le joru hono nyi me yo ra keke we nya ngba ma jo flow afukwa ngba medo adi kanya bi me mate kutega Oma yo akain becho bakain ngoni bakain jevo bakain bisu bakain trovo bakain menyu bakain difi bakain menyu ata bakain age bakain peli pa vi megba haja do la ko fra mande difi to baso mate dojo me yo minu da ho gba o wa o kapo ko mi zango yo mi play vi ore ke mi ko ha de yo me yo ra ke wo jo pata jo maku afoke me volo mo ni chi me volo fu do me gberi o kokoro ku atole fofo me jogbo ni o he be lo jogbo ni me to aye mo moju to ami kwa de pe benyi le fe me gbe to ba jo tu zo ko le du mo no te pe ka jo pata be ye le happy jo von ba jo ni jo pata be fia jo pata me tro me gbe da mo bi fa gbe le di jo pata le ni ajo lo jo pata yan te pe me yo me si me gbo jiri to gbe de nta fa pelu ti zugbo ajima ogboju kuro lojo lo fun ko me ba yin te fa me ba lojo na pefu agosa pa ke me yo tigeli me yo goro me yo ra kika lafia to gbe mama opete me yo abochi sakraka me yo afana go nu fa gbo maji so pepe to lo le me asine dilo umbuke epe buvado we are in a new year. May you bring love, success, health, and progress to everybody that is from African Magic Temple. There were some prayers that I did, but I did them with chicken, mentioning all those who are connected to African Magic Temple to have a very successful year. But these videos, I cannot put them on the social media. Otherwise, you would have heard me. So I'm wishing you all good health, prosperity, and above all, love. Stay strong until we meet again next week. Bye-bye. Enjoy the new year, everybody. Okay. A big sister Oluchi is saying, yes, we are grateful for having you, Papa. Get well quickly. Let me see there. We love you. Thank you very much. I think that was thank you very much, big sister. I'm very grateful. I think we are done. Big sister say, thank you.